time has finally come. UFC 304, my dog fighting this weekend. Belal, remember the name Muhammad, about to take that belt. Let's fucking go, baby. I'm lit, man. Look, coming off of last weekend, betting wise, one of my best for sure. I believe if you people do Tapology, I was 62nd, or I was 41st in Tapology last week. I went crazy last week, man. Crazy. I'm about to go crazy again. I think I've got some good plays. I'm looking to go undefeated on this card. And before I get into my picks, I have a little message from one of the fighters fighting this weekend. Here we go.
What's up, Parks? Just want to say I appreciate you, bro. And to everybody out there, Parks got the best picks.
I hope y'all boys enjoyed that. My dog Belal coming through. Anyways, let me get into the first fight. Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. I think Marcin Prachnio is going to win this one. I don't really think, Modestas Bukauskas doesn't have the best output. I think he's got some solid low kicks, but I'm not a fan of his boxing at all. I think Marcin Prachnio is going to be able to out-volume him and just land more shots on him. Marcin Prachnio's got a very interesting gas tank. He tends to gas out a lot, but he throws a ton of strikes. I could see him, winning the first 2 rounds, and maybe, just maybe, Modestas Bukauskas can find a finish in the 3rd round. I've actually had that bet on my radar. I might look at it some more. We'll see what the number is on my book. But, I just think Marcin's style is extremely weird. He throws kicks weird. He ducks his head a lot, but it's efficient. He moves his head a ton. He doesn't really get hit that often, which is kind of crazy to say. But, if Modestas Bukauskas comes out here and rips the body and attempts takedowns, I think Modestas can win. But I'm trusting Marcin Prachnio to get this one done via decision. I'm not going to, bet on Marcin decision. I'm actually going to bet on the round 3 finish from Modestas Bukauskas. I just don't think Marcin is that dangerous, So I like Marcin Prachnio by a decision, but I'm keeping in the back of my head Modestas Bukauskas 3rd round finish as well. So yeah. Okay, Sam Patterson versus Kiefer Crosbie. Sam Patterson's at a minus 329 favorite right now, and I like the guy. I'm myself am a long, rangy guy, skinny, and I typically like those kind of fighters. But Sam Patterson, I don't think he's all that good. He's coming off a submission win where he didn't even take the guy down. It was really like he just slipped, and I do think he's slick on the ground. But when it comes to the feet, man, his defense doesn't look that good. It really doesn't look that good. I think he's really good on the ground. I will give him that. He's slick on the ground. He knows how to use his, long limbs. But I'm not a fan of him on the feet. He has good kicks. He's like a wannabe technical striker. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like he's technical, but he's not that good at it. His volume isn't that great. I look for Kiefer Crosbie to try to get in the pocket and box, and I think he could have success. Not too confident in Sam Patterson. For me, it's a dog or pass situation. I trust Sam Patterson to get this one done. Kiefer Crosby's not good at all, but when I look at Kiefer Crosbie, I watched his fight versus Kevin Jousset, and he has good boxing. I've watched a couple of other fights too. He's got good boxing. There's no denying that. I think he's going to struggle with the range of Sam Patterson. Sam Patterson, although I don't think he's that good of a striker, I do think he can, manage his range very well. When he got knocked out, it was a bit of a, fluke. He got his kick caught and just got chinned, whatever. I don't think Kiefer Crosby's going to have a good time, an easy time, closing that distance. But if he does, it could get dangerous, man. He's got some good boxing. I will give him that. That's about it, though. I think Sam Patterson, can choke him out easily. If Kiefer Crosbie overswings, I can see Sam Patterson taking him down and choking him out. But, when I look at the line of Sam Patterson, it's minus 120 for a sub, and he's not a sub guy. And then I see the decision prop. It's plus 620. I don't get that at all. Kiefer Crosbie does fight like that, but I don't think Sam Patterson's that dangerous on the feet. He's really not that good on the feet, in my opinion. I don't know. I see him winning this fight, but at a price tag of minus 319 or whatever the fuck it is, not a chance it's worth it. I think Kiefer Crosbie has the ability to, get on the inside and, KO Sam Patterson, but I'm not going to play that. I'm going with a Sam Patterson. I'm going to go with a second or third round submission. I think Kiefer Crosbie overswings. Sam Patterson takes his back and chokes him out. That's how I think it goes. And, let's move on. All right, next up, Preston Parsons and Oban Elliot. Look, I'm going to keep it honest here. I really like Preston Parsons here. He's coming off a win versus Matthew Semmelsberger. He's beat a couple guys like Evan Elder. I mean, Oban Elliot just did not impress me in his last performance against Val Woodburn. He got hurt by Val Woodburn. I don't know. It's not that impressive. He took him down. He looked okay on the feet. He's does the same thing. He'll switch to southpaw and throw a high kick. It's pretty, he does it every time. I don't think he's that good. I'm sorry, I was about to say Evan Elder. Preston Parsons moves around. I think he's better on the feet, and I think he's better on the ground. And I also think he's bigger with a better gas tank. I really, really like Preston Parsons in this fight. I really don't think Oban Elliot has a good gas tank. He's pretty slick with the submissions. That's the only way I think that Preston Parsons loses this fight, is if Oban Elliot can wrap him up in some sort of submission. He's also pretty tough, but ultimately, I think, Preston Parsons gets this one done fairly easily, maybe a 30-27, 29-28 decision. I really like him here. I'm going to be betting on Preston Parsons. I really, really, think he's going to win this fight, and I just don't think Oban is that good, man. He's very mediocre on the feet, bad, sloppy jab. Like I said, every time he switches to southpaw, he just wants to throw the high kick. Preston Parsons actually is decent on the feet. He moves laterally, side to side, really well. I think he's going to get this one done pretty easily. I really don't see how Oban Elliot can win this fight. And I believe he's like minus 150. I think it's, a really easy pick for me. I really think Preston Parsons gets this one done in an easy decision. Next up, Mick Parkin and Łukasz Brzeski. I don't know how to say his name. Łukasz is a very, very bad fighter. Mick Parkin, more of a technical guy. I'm going to keep this short. I don't think Łukasz Brzeski has anything to beat Mick Parkin. I mean, he's got good low kicks and he's pretty explosive, but that's really it, dude. I mean, I think Mick Parkin, I don't really know how he loses this fight. I mean, he went the distance last time out versus Muhammad Usman, and, the Muhammad Usman we just saw was fucking terrible. But Muhammad Usman looked good against Mick Parkin. I don't know what it was. But I really think Mick Parkin is going to easily win this one as well. This is I feel like Mick Parkin is going to win by points or submission. I think Mick Parkin will take this guy down. He's not good on the ground. He's terrible on the ground, matter of fact. Walter Walker was taking him down like nothing. Everybody's taking him down. Carl Williams is taking him down. I mean, dude, I think CM Punk might be able to get this dude down. He just accepts it every time. I don't think there's any way that Łukasz Brzeski can win this fight. He's outmatched on the feet. He's outmatched on the ground. He's outmatched everywhere. Another guy, back-to-back guys where I really don't think that they're going to lose. I think Mick Parkin and Preston Parsons will not lose this weekend. I really like Mick Parkin here. I think I'm going to, submission is looking juicy. I haven't seen the number, but if the number's nice, I will lay some money on it. Łukasz has never been subbed. Mick only has one sub, but I could see Mick getting it done on the ground via, ground and pound or submission or points. He could take it there. Łukasz, I don't think he's been finished before. All right, no, never mind. He just got knocked the fuck out by Waldo Cortez, but I forgot about that. My bad. Yeah, Łukasz is kind of tough to finish on the ground. I don't think he's been finished on the ground. So I don't really know what to do here. I think if I'm going to do anything, I'd probably just sprinkle a little bit on sub. We'll see what that number's like. But I really don't see Mick Parkin losing this weekend, and I like him to win this fight really, really easily. All right, next up, Loughran versus Jake Hadley. Jake Hadley's on short notice here. Jake Hadley is actually a pretty big flyweight, so he might have success. But when I look at Loughran, or whatever his name is, dude, it's actually funny to me. I don't think he can move his head, like physically. I don't know if he can move his head. You watch his fight this weekend. It's like impossible. His head and like traps are like stuck together, so he can't move his head at all. It's crazy. But anyways, I mean, look, Cal is a wrestler, and I think he's gonna be able to grab Hadley and throw him to the ground and just hold him there, do whatever he'd like there. Hadley's a 29% takedown defense, and I know flyweights have the most skill, and I know this and that, but he's going to have the speed advantage here. But I think, Kyle actually is decent boxing besides his inability to move his fat-ass head. But I don't really like 7 days short notice fights, to be honest with you. So almost every single time I'm going to go with the guy, and especially moving up a weight class. Moving up a weight class, I did the same shit to Gene Silva and Drew Dober. I didn't pick Gene Silva. It came back to bite me. But this time I feel like it's a little different, Gene Silva is a massive, massive featherweight. Hadley, and when I look at Loughran, I think he's just going to take him down and wrestle him the whole entire fight. Hadley is decent. He's actually not even a good flyweight. He's, very mediocre at flyweight. He's taken a step up higher. I just don't see him winning this fight. I think Loughran's going to just grab him and put him on the ground. I think Hadley might have success on the feet early, but Hadley's fast, but he just has a 1-2, and that's all he throws. And he's, he pressures, and I just think Loughran's going to, when Jake Hadley overextends, take him down and hold him down there. I don't like, these fights betting-wise and picking-wise because it's just so unpredictable. So I'm going to pick Loughran to win this fight by a decision, or maybe he gets the sub. All right, Nathaniel Wood, Daniel Pineda. Nathaniel Wood's sitting at -500 right now. I don't think he should be -500, but I do understand why. He's going to be way faster than Daniel Pineda. It's not even going to be close. On the feet, he's going to be way better on the feet. Nathaniel Wood doesn't get that many finishes on the feet, but he's slick and he's fast and he's good. He's a very good boxer. When I look at Daniel Pineda on the feet, all I see is a, heavy low kick. He's got really nothing on the feet. He's great on the ground, like A tier on the ground. And, Nathaniel Wood could find himself in trouble on the ground for sure. I definitely could see that happening. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Daniel Pineda is going to be able to get Nathaniel Wood to the ground. I think he's going to get battered over 3 rounds by Nathaniel Wood. And I like maybe Nathaniel Wood to get a finish here, but I'm just going to pick Nathaniel Wood by a decision. I just don't think he hits that hard, and I think he's going to batter Daniel Pineda. And Daniel Pineda might give up because it's going to be so bad on the feet. We'll see, but I like Nathaniel Wood here. All right. I don't know what's happening to this fight. It's like on the early prelims now. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I'm hoping nobody pulled out because I really do want to see this fight. But anyways, Muhammad Mokaev, Manel Kape. Oh, man. I'm telling you, I was struggling to pick someone here. And, I'm going to be honest with you. If Manel Kape actually, took his career serious and, didn't fuck around in the octagon so much and kind of just, not, fuck around, basically, I'd pick him easily here. But, I look at Manel Kape and, his last couple fights, he's had opportunities to finish guys. David Dvorak, he hurt. Felipe Dos Santos, he hurt. And he fucks around, and I don't really don't get it. He's so talented, and it's hard for me to pick a guy like that, because when I look at Muhammad Mokaev, I know he's hungry, and I know he wants to win more than, Manel Kape. Manel Kape, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But Manel Kape is too talented, man. I think he's going to be able to, hurt Mokaev on the feet. He's so nasty with his counter striking, so precise. It's just, I love the way he strikes. Look for him to be super patient in the first round. He's not going to overextend or give Mokaev a chance to take him down or get a clean takedown on him. I truly believe Manel Kape will come out and be super patient, try to find and pick his shots. And I think he might, oh my gosh, man. Like I said, it's hard for me to pick him, man, because Mokaev is so hungry and, he just wants to win more, and I know he does. Manel Kape is just all over the fucking place, really. But the counter-shotting ability is too much, I think. Manel Kape's so precise, so accurate with his counter-striking. He throws nasty knees up the middle. Mokaev's going to have to watch out for those. I think he'll connect with them. Mokaev doesn't really set up his takedowns. He just drops to a fucking knee. I don't know why he does it. He gets away with it. I think a point should be deducted, or, Kape should be able to, elbow him and knee him. But I don't know how that works. But anyways, I'm going to have to go with Manel Kape. I just think he's too talented to lose this fight. I know Mokaev is an extensive, great grappler, and I like Mokaev, and I like Kape as well. I really want to see this fight, but I think it's going to be a close fight. I think I'm going to get Manel Kape split decision win here. The volume of Mokaev is a problem when I think of, Manel Kape, especially in the first round. I think Mokaev's going to jab and land low kicks, but not overextend so he can't get countered. But I think Kape's going to counter shot him and hurt him bad. Maybe drop him. I looked at a stat. Kape has dropped his last 4 opponents. That's interesting to look at, but I think Kape is so much better on the feet, so much more athletic. Man, I just see him being able to weather this storm, and, I think he's going to be able to hurt Mokaev and win via points. I really hope he comes out and doesn't fuck around in the octagon. Please, for the love of God, just focus. And he'll win this fight if he does. So, I'm going to pick Manel Kape. All right, Giga Chikadze versus Arnold Allen. Look, I think this is going to be a closer fight than people think. I believe Allen's sitting at a minus 200-something favorite. The game plan's out on Giga Chikadze. Get in his fucking face and, prevent the kicks. Similar to Edson Barboza, same shit. I watched the Calvin Kattar fight, and that fight specifically reminds me of this one. I really think, I think Allen's going to get cracked early in this fight. He's going to have to eat some shots. Giga Chikadze, off his back foot, you got to think, he's been practicing this. He knows that Allen's going to come forward the whole fight. He's going to know that. I think this is going to be a barn burner. I think it is. Similar to the Dan Hooker and Arnold Allen fight. Arnold Allen's going to be on the gas the whole fight. He should be. If he comes out that way, I think he's going to win this fight. But he's got to watch out because Giga, he's off his back foot. When he was fighting Calvin Kattar, he was cracking him hard. And Arnold Allen's been dropped in his last 3 fights, or not last 3, but, 3 times. Movsar hurt him pretty bad with just a jab. I'm a little nervous for Arnold Allen, I think he'd have more success when he got close to Giga, clinch up and try to wear on him that way instead of standing in the pocket and trading, because that's what I think is going to happen in this fight. Look, I'm very, very confident in this pick. I really think this is going to be a barn burner, fight of the night, just because of how Arnold Allen's going to come in and fight. I don't think he's going to sit back and let Giga Chikadze kick him. Simple. Giga's not going to get that space, and he's going to have to fire back. So that's why I think, the under 2.5 is sitting at plus 190 right now. I'm a very, very big fan of this. Very big fan. When I look at Giga Chikadze, both these guys, first of all, never been TKO'd, I believe. But that's not always the case, man. That shit doesn't matter. Look, this is going to be a barn burner. I'm guaranteeing you in the first round, it's going to be, electric. It's going to be a high-paced fight. I know it. I really feel like somebody's going to get dropped in the first or someone's going to get hurt. But if Giga cracks Allen early, I think Giga might be able to put him away. Simple as that. But if that gets past the first round, Allen's going to break him in half. And I'm hoping he can do it before, the third round or, halfway through the third round. I really don't see this fight going long at all. I know at plus 190, it's not, I really like this, man. Stylistically, these guys are going to have to fight each other in the pocket, and they're not going to be waiting back because Allen won't give Giga that kind of space. And honestly, I could see Allen taking Giga down and maybe choking him out too. He trains in Canada with Zahabis, and they're very good on the ground. Look, I think the under in this fight is underrated. I really, really just think it's going to be a hell fight. I really do. Giga, like I said, he's going to need room for those kicks. And we know that the game plan is to get in front of them and pressure them the whole time so they cannot do that. And Arnold Allen's going to be eating shots and he's going to be firing back. I think we're in for a barn burner in the first round. Maybe somebody gets finished. But I'm really a really big fan of the under 2.5 here. I'm a really big fan. I think this is one of the best, plays I've drawn up. Obviously, it's plus money, so, it would be great if it hit, but likely not, or according to Vegas, I guess. But I just think that, they're going to have to come out and fight, in each other's face, because Allen's going to be on the gas. He's got to. Or Giga's going to pick him apart. Simple as that. I think that's how the fight goes. And honestly, I'm going to pick Arnold Allen. I think he finishes Giga Chikadze in the second round or the third round. I don't know, but that's what I'm going to pick. Arnold Allen by finish. Next up, Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory Rodrigues. And these odds are confusing me. I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. Why the fuck is Gregory Rodrigues an underdog here? Does Vegas know something I don't? Vegas might know that this is on short notice. I know that. But, man, Gregory Rodrigues has been talking about how he has fights booked for Denver and, for other cards. I think he's been good to go. I think this is a full training camp for Gregory Rodrigues, and I love him to win in this spot. When it comes to striking, Christian Leroy Duncan's fancy with the kicks or whatever you want to say. I don't think Christian Leroy Duncan's that good. First of all, he's on a 2-fight win streak over fucking Dennis Talulin and who's the other one? Claudio Ribeiro. Come on, dude. Gregory Rodrigues has beaten way better guys than that. Gregory Rodrigues is coming off a win versus Brad Tavares. He took down Brad Tavares in that fight. I think he's got way too many ways to win this fight. And Christian Leroy Duncan, last time out, Claudio Ribeiro, took Claudio Ribeiro down and finished him ground and pound TKO. But let's be real here, man. Rodrigues is extensively better on the ground than Christian Leroy Duncan. It's not even close. This guy's been a champion or whatever. I don't know what the accolades are, but tons of them with Gilbert Burns. He's got the ability to take Christian Leroy Duncan down. And on the feet, this dude cracks. He hits hard as fuck. Like I said, these odds are confusing me. I like Gregory Rodrigues to win this fight pretty easily, man. Another situation, just like the Giga one. Gregory Rodrigues isn't going to give Christian Leroy Duncan space. He's not. To get his kicks off, he's not going to do that. Gregory Rodrigues against all of his opponents is pressure, high guard, and he hits like a fucking truck. Hits hard as shit. I don't really see it at all, man. I don't know if I'm going to get tricked. But I really like Gregory Rodrigues here. I think he's going to win this fight easily. He can take him down. I feel like on the feet, his boxing is better than Christian Leroy Duncan. Maybe just not his kickboxing, but you know how to deal with that. Pressure, pressure, pressure. I like Gregory Rodrigues to win this fight here. I think he can get the KO, or he can get the sub, or he can get the decision via domination. I love Gregory Rodrigues here. I think he wins this fight very easily. Next up, Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett. Man, oh man, this line has gone down crazy, man. I believe Paddy was at plus 150 at one point. Whatever, not here to talk about that. Here to talk about the fight. When I look at Paddy, I look at a guy who has a very suspicious gas tank. I don't think he's got a good gas tank. It's because all the weight he cuts. a good grappler, and a pretty powerful striker. With that being said, I think the only way he's going to win this fight is to knock out Bobby Green. And I'm not saying, I think a club and sub is there too, but I think, he's going to have to hurt Bobby to get him down or finish the fight there, whatever. I don't think he's going to have success with the takedowns. I really don't. I think Bobby's athleticism, his quickness, he's been doing this forever, man. I don't think Paddy's good enough to get him down. I really don't. I really don't. And on the feet, Bobby's going to pick him apart, I feel. Obviously, the big prop everybody's going to be going with is Paddy KO. Yes, I can definitely see Paddy, rocking Bobby Green for sure, hurting him. Bobby Green is there to get hurt. And Paddy is an awkward style, and I understand. I just think on the feet it's too much. I think the volume of Bobby is going to be too much. The head movement, the angle of the punch is too much. I think he's going to beat the fuck out of Paddy Pimblett. I really do. If Paddy can't finish him in the first round, I don't think he's going to win this fight. Once it get past that second round, Paddy doesn't have that same kind of pop in his punches, and I think Bobby Green's going to be touching him up all over the fucking place, and, his face is going to look crazy. I really think Bobby Green is going to go out here, if he doesn't get knocked out in the first, and beat the fuck out of Paddy Pimblett. I really think so. I just think his quickness, his hand speed, the weird style is too much for Paddy. There's going to be punches coming all different angles. I really think he's going to beat the shit out of Paddy Pimblett. And if Paddy cannot get that first round KO, I don't think he's going to win this fight. Simple as that. I think if it's left up to the judges, whatever, we don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, it's in England, so maybe he'll get the lucky decision. I really see Paddy outstriking Bobby Green outstriking Paddy a lot. I really do, man. Like I said, man, I like Paddy Pimblett. I think he's a good fighter. If he can't hit that chin, he's in trouble. He's going to lose this fight. So I'm going to go and pick Bobby Green via decision. So, but I think Paddy will look like a fucking different human by the end of this fight. So, yeah, I'm picking Bobby. Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes 2. I really like Curtis Blaydes. I'm going to go off and say that. I really like Curtis Blaydes. I'm pulling for him to win this fight. He's a good fighter. He seems like a great guy. I hope he can get it done because he's never been able to... All right, co-main event, Curtis Blaydes and Tom Aspinall. I've already talked about this. I like Curtis Blaydes. I hope the best for him, man. I just hope he doesn't get KO'd that bad, But it's hard for me to say that I don't think that Tom Aspinall will find a shot and knock out Curtis Blaydes. I will be honest with you. I think Curtis Blaydes, coming off a win versus Jailton Almeida, he was losing the whole first round. He got taken down and dominated. I think Tom Aspinall, if he wants to do that, he can do it. He can take Curtis Blaydes down and beat his ass on the ground. I firmly think that. I think he's that good. I think he's that athletic. I think Curtis Blaydes is super outmatched here, man. I can't lie. I think he's the king of the bad heavyweights. So, everybody below Volkov or whatever, and Pavlovich, obviously Pavlovich finished him, but anybody below that, Spivak, Tybura, those guys, I think he's the best of those guys for sure. But it's just like a level. It's a level. It's like Curtis Blaydes, John Jones, Tom Aspinall. I don't think he's at that level, man. The striking is basic and mediocre. It's a 1-2 and a leg kick. That's all he's got. Tom Aspinall, that's all Tom Aspinall's got as well, but it's so much faster and he sets it up. I think Tom Aspinall is going to knock out Curtis Blaydes inside of 3 rounds with ease. I'm pulling for Curtis Blaydes. I hope he can win, but I think Tom Aspinall is going to put his lights out. I just don't see, any way Curtis Blaydes can win this fight, man. Unless Tom Aspinall gets to the 5th or 4th round, then I still think Tom Aspinall is such a good athlete that he's not going to be exhausted, and I don't think he's going to get that far, man. It's just the speed. I don't think Tom Aspinall is going to get hit with anything, man. He's never been, hit before. Sergey Pavlovich is the only person to really connect with him. I just don't see it for Curtis Blades, man. I'm going Tom Aspinall, second round KO. And yeah, that's how this fight's going to go. Tom Aspinall, second round KO. And no! Leon Edwards versus man. Leon the Clown Edwards versus Belal. Remember the name. Bully B. Muhammad, baby. Let's go. It's the moment we've been waiting for, man. The moment all the Belal fans have been waiting for. First off, I want to say I will not be betting on this fight. I do not bet on my favorite fighters. I don't bet on my favorite, sports teams. Like, for instance, the Kansas Jayhawks are my favorite team. I never bet on them because of, it's just bad luck, and you're not supposed to do that. It's a rule. I don't do it. So I will not be betting on this fight. I will strictly be watching as a Belal lover. And it's crazy. First off, I had to say this before I get into the fight breakdown. How many people are coming over to the Belal side? It's crazy, man. Like, I think you could look up Leon Edwards on Google. You look up Rocky UFC on Google, it's going to come up as Raquel Pennington. Nobody gives a fuck about Leon Edwards, man. Nobody. And he's going to become more relevant after this. Look, we know how this fight's going. I'm going to be non-biased, completely non-biased. Non-biasedly, I do think Belal can win this fight and will win this fight. Look, Coach Habib has given Belal a game plan. He's going to stick to that game plan. He's going to stick to it. First of all, I want to say Belal is more hungry than any other fucking fighter that Leon has ever fought in his career. Not even close. The hunger on Belal Muhammad, he will not quit. All right? First of all, Belal is going to come out and he's going to be on that gas. Belal Muhammad is going to be on that gas. He's going to be in his face, hands up, jabbing, on the fence, jab, pop, double. He's going to be switching stances, fucking with Leon. That's how you do it, man. That's how you get in those guys' heads. Those, guys, as a really, great kickboxer myself, when people switch stances constantly, it fucks with you, man. Belal's doing that. He's going to be doing that. He's going to be launching kicks at Leon Edwards, press him on the fence. And he's going to find the right time to shoot in takedowns. The pressure of Belal. He's going to have to eat some shots. Leon is a good counter striker, but the counter strikes aren't that hard. It's not going to be something hard. Belal's going to be able to eat him. He's a tough guy. I know whatever people say, been chin by Loughran, hurt by Jeff Neal. Fuck you. Belal is tough. And he's not going to fucking give up, I'll tell you that. He will not give up. So, I think Belal's going to pressure him, out-volume him, steal rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5. Realistically, I do think he's going to win rounds 2, 4, and 5. And new, baby. I have to be non-biased. I do think he's going to steal rounds 4 and 5 relatively easily. I think he's going to be able to get Leon Edwards to the mat in this fight. Man, I'm riding or dying with my boy Belal Muhammad, man. I'm picking him to win this fight. And new welterweight champion of the world, Bully Belal Muhammad.